I love that I had to tell him about his own accomplishments. How about this accomplishment? The XFL back, and the league has a really unique draft format. Do you know about this? They put together teams by position, so 15 quarterbacks have already been assigned to the 8 teams. A.J. McCarron, the headliner, the 8-year NFL veteran, went to St. Louis. Drafting started today with the snake format featuring skill position players as we take a look at who was selected. The first 8 skill positions in the XFL draft are as follows. DC Defenders used their #1 overall pick to select former Baylor running back Abram Smith. In 2021, he set the school single-season rushing record with over 1,600 yards. And tomorrow, the teams will draft from specials players, followed by selections for all other available positions. The XFL officially wrapping up its first day of the draft from Las Vegas, and we're joined now by owner and chairwoman Dany Garcia, owner Dwayne Johnson. What a day, Dany. I'm going to start with you with all of the planning and the preparation that has taken place since you two purchased this league. Can you just explain what today's been like for you?
Today, well, first of all, today's been incredible. Today has been the example of what providing opportunity looks like. You know, our head coaches have been working so hard, you know, between the showcases, between whittling down 6,000 athletes to a number of 1,700, and then picking from that player pool. You know, everyone has been driving and working so hard, and today we delivered on our commitment and promise to bring opportunity.
DJ, I know that during this process, you've spoken a lot about your dreams of playing professional football and how they weren't realized. You talked about waiting for that call during the '95 draft that never came. So what was it like today being the one that was making those calls to these men?
You know, not only was it very surreal for Dany and I both, because back then in the mid-'90s, as you had said, that was the goal, the dream. That was the dream. That draft was the dream. We waited in our little apartment in South Miami to get that call on day one. That call never came. And, you know, I wasn't expecting you to get that call on day one, but there was a shot that we were going to get that call on day 2. So day 2 comes around, and we're waiting around the phone. Like, by the way, thousands and thousands of athletes, football players have waited, pro athletes, amateur athletes have waited for that call. On day 2, we wait for that call to come around, and the phone rings. And look at Dany, and it's a moment. Like, and we didn't have a big party. It wasn't a big draft party, because you're thinking, hey, this might be, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th round call right now. And that phone rang, and I picked up that phone, and it was my grandmother, who was just, who she was calling from Hawaii, just seeing if I got drafted yet. And I said, no, I didn't. And we had already sent out the memo to everybody, hey, don't call the house phone. So she called. She's looking down now. I think she's very proud. But now, years later, here we are as XFL owners, and now we get to place that call. It's a real special time. And it's so good to talk to those players, too.
It's really easy to, as fans, to root for sort of the underdog, and you essentially have a league of them, right? Like a league of guys that feel like they have a ton to prove. And I love that you mentioned that, because DJ and Dany, you know this too, that sports sort of loyalty is born of many things, family ties, right? Or a tie to a city or a tie to a school. How do your teams, DJ, create that passion essentially from scratch?
We create that passion from scratch. It starts within. It does start at the top, but then at the same time, it starts to go all the way down into the heartbeat, and the heartbeat are the players.
And I'll add to that, El, to just say also, you know, we're storytellers. It's our job. We just met with the majority of our quarterbacks, and one of the things we said to them and committed to them, because they were so adamant in committing their performance and their leadership to us in the XFL, we wanted to remind them that we will do everything in our skill set, which, thank God, you know, knock on wood, is fairly broad, to make sure the light is being shown on them. And we'll double down in making sure the players, the fans know who these players are and why each play is meaningful for them, whether it's a catch, a touchdown, a miss, a tackle, why it has a great impact. And that's what we've committed to, and that's what we commit to everyone.
Lastly, you guys, you have teams, You've got players, we've got logos. Like, what else can we expect in the immediate future from the XFL?
Well, you've said a few of them. We've got team uniforms coming up. We've got our schedule coming out, and the team uniforms are a big one.
We wanted to make sure that the fabric had a story about it, like there was just great detail and nuance in every single uniform that speaks to the particular city and their logo and what the brand means. So we can't wait to showcase the uniforms too, you know. And look, if one of these teams are lucky, I just might suit up and I'll get one of my lungs knocked loose. But
I'll say, you think you could still go right now, DJ? What do you think?
Do I think? Listen, I could set the edge anytime.
I somehow believe that looking at you. Well, listen, thank you so much. We've loved watching the news sort of trickle out week by week, to your point, about all of the new information for the XFL. We can't wait for the upcoming season. Thank you so much, and we're so excited to partner with you. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Thanks,
you.
Al.
You too. See you, Al.